What is up, testies? I came across an interesting post on Reddit, and I want to take a look at it with you. We're going to skip intros altogether because, hey, who's got time for that anyway? So here's the post. It's by a guy named Leplong JR 3 days ago. I had to scroll down a long way to find it because there's so much posts on the Reddit there. And he's asking, why are people so divided about the future of Star Citizen? All right, we've seen this a lot before, right? Nothing new. So what's this guy's story? He goes, he's new to Star Citizen. He saw a video by Morphologist. Morphologist is the guy that made those great videos talking about the architecture. He's an architect, George Costanza style, of the 600 and the 890 jump. Great videos. I really do recommend them to anyone who wants to see professional kind of analysis of the design process. So this guy discovers Star Citizen. Then he discovers this group called the Refundians. We call them Refundians. They're a bunch of people who are adamant and focused on proving that anyone who backs the Project Star Citizen must be stupid / or insane and is being manipulated by spending the money that are tricking you and sucking the money out of you, something about fracking, one thing or another, and essentially, short story, you're an idiot if you back the project because look at all the great reasons we have why you shouldn't. That's Refundian. So he's wondering, how can a project have two sides so diametrically opposed? How is it possible? All right. 2 words for you. False equivalency. False equivalency. There are not two equal sides here where one side says, hey, this game is great, and the other side said, no, it's a scam, you've been tricked. That doesn't exist. It's simply not true. There is a very large, 2 million? Let's make it 1.5 because some people have multiple accounts. Group of backers who say, yeah, we like what's happening with Star Citizen, we're backing it. And then there's this tiny, tiny group called the Refundians who make a lot of noise and want to let you know that you're being manipulated, the game is a scam, it's been delayed, therefore never coming out, a la Cyberpunk. Announced 2012, delayed. Another year, delayed again till September. Scam. Cyberpunk. Giant scam. But back to the point here. All right, false equivalency. How can a project have two diametrically opposed sides? It is not true. That doesn't exist. But the bigger issue I want to discuss is that there's a framing trick made up by the other side. And I see people fall for it all the time. And the first response here by Joe Hockey 1990, who did a good job at responding, fell for this framing trick again. And let me explain it to you. Here it is. There are backers who are in that CIG, Star Citizen is a gift from God, everything is perfect. Where? Where are these people? Where are the people that say that? I don't know. I've never met them. In fact, check it out, all right? Robert Space in /orgs/test. This is my organization. 19,004 members. We just celebrated a giant move there for 19,000 members. I took great pride in personally greeting the first 3,000 to 4,000 members, each and every single one of them. We were in Mumble at the time. I said, guys, welcome. It's nice to meet you. With a type or spoke over the voice. Not a single one said to me, oh my God, this game is a gift from God. Christ Roberts walks among. No one says that. In fact, the only people who said that are the biggest Refundians of them all, a guy named Butcher, who's made a great video series called Sunk Cost Galaxy, where he spends thousands upon thousands of hours telling you why you are being manipulated and why Star Citizen is a gigantic scam. He, in the beginning, was a massive Chris Roberts fan. I take no shame in saying I have no idea who Chris Roberts was before Star Citizen. I knew about Wing Commander the movie and the game. I'd never played the game, but I first learned about Chris Roberts from Star Citizen itself. But that guy, he's one of the figureheads of the Refundian movement, was the biggest Christ Roberts fan in the sense that he had the helmet, he had every Wing Commander game, he had all the paraphernalia come with Wing Commander. The second he heard Star Citizen was going to be made, he ran to CIG with money. And he goes, guys, here's I don't know the exact amount, must be minimum $20,000, and go, I want to give you $20,000. I want to be an early investor in Star Citizen. And CIG said, absolutely. I mean, they were looking for $600,000 back then with the Kickstarter. So if someone came along with 20,000 plus and said, I want to be an investor, they said, yeah. So he came in as a very, very early stage investor. I'll tell you how this all ties in. And what happened was, as CIG brought in 1 million, 4 million, 6 million, 10 million bucks, the money kept on coming in. They said, you know what? We brought in this guy way too early. They brought in that Butcher guy way too early. They go, we don't need him as an early investor. In fact, we are giving the money back to him and kicking him out as an investor. While this was never admitted anywhere, this is exactly what I would do if I was CIG and I took early investor money that turned out to be that I didn't need at all. So they kicked him out. And from that day on, well, first of all, before they kicked him out, he would be at the CIG, and I remember this during the early days, he'd go and take them pizza, he'd deliver beer, he'd be in there giving them donuts, he'd be in there as much as possible because he worshipped the ground that Chris Roberts walked on. He was a giant fan. Nothing wrong with that. It's fine. I understand Chris Roberts had a big fan following. That's okay. But what happened is it kicked him out. And so his motive ever since then has essentially been to slam Star Citizen and try prevent funding and try prevent the company from succeeding in their goal of creating the game, thus justifying him and his enacting his revenge of being kicked out as an early investor. That's my take on it. If my take is wrong, post below. I'm interested. So the reason why I brought that up is because the only people who are like this are some of the biggest refunders themselves. None of the backers I know have ever said anything like that. None of them. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't exist. There's a guy down there in Spectrum. There's a big thread of 1,000 comments, and one of the comments says, I love Star Citizen. This game is a gift from God. I'm sure it's out there. But I, personally, of the thousands of people I've spoken to, have never met a person saying this. And the only people who ever said that are the biggest Refundians, and they are projecting. Projection. That's all that is. So this is the framing. And the framing that the Refundians have successfully put out, and people are falling for it. You too, Joe Hockey, and I know you didn't mean to, but this is the thing. This does not exist. Don't fall for this trap. It doesn't exist. I don't know any of these people. I don't know anyone who says this. In fact, everyone I know who's backed the project is very level-headed about it and knows exactly what they're going into and knows how much money they've spent and knows how much money they want to spend and is not being manipulated. The people who are claiming everyone's being manipulated, the people who are claiming that it's a giant scam and they're being tricked, the people who are claiming that everyone's blinded for the love of Chris Roberts are the refunders. It's them. And they're framing it. So Joe Hockey's fallen into the trap of saying, hey, I'm not in the group. Sure, there's that group. No, that group doesn't exist. It's made up. And the reason I bring it up is because I was also sent this video just yesterday. Now, there's this content creator named The Games. I'm going to be gentle here, DG. I saw you rebranded DG360. I like it. I like it a lot better. And his thing is that he's trying to take a middle ground here, right? He wants to take the middle ground. And to him I say, no, there's no middle ground on this issue. And he's fallen into the trap. And the trap is that if you back Star Citizen, you must be blind. And if you are against it, well, that's also kind of just the other extreme. And listen to what he says.
Call it sometimes for people on the outside or those that just join the channel to say, what is this guy about? Sometimes he seems like a naysayer. Other times he seems like a white knight.
So he basically, his channel is mostly Star Citizen, and he's trying to take a balanced, centrist approach to it. And I say to that, you are falling into the traps. Listen to what he says.
I'm not quite sure exactly what this guy is. Is he a flip-flopper? He goes from one side to the other? And I really want to talk about how childish and foolish it is to put yourself in either camp.
You get that? It is childish to put yourself in the camp of being a Star Citizen backer, because if you're a backer, that must mean you think it's a gift from God. And so he's trying to take the middle ground. And this is what I say. There's no centrist approach to this. You back Star Citizen because you've looked at where they are, you looked at the funding, you looked at the roadmap, you see where the game is, you go, yeah, I like this, I'm in there. This argument that it's childish to be a backer and positive about it because then you don't have all the facts, but you got to be more logical. And to be logical, you got to be in the middle. Centrism doesn't always work. Just ask Hillary Clinton. Centrism doesn't work. And I want to bring this up. Oh, we're in CNN slamming mode. Don't get me wrong. I think CNN does wonderful work sometimes. But this is from 2014. And this is one of the reasons why nothing irks me and bugs me more than this kind of garbage, all right? Here is a debate between Bill Nye, the science guy. There's a point here. And Ken Ham. Ken Ham, all right? Ken Ham Museum. There's a guy who raised millions upon millions of dollars to build a life-size ark and has a museum showing man and dinosaur living together happily. Oh, look at that. Living happy together at the same time. And CNN, this is 2014, had a debate between Ken Ham and Bill Nye, the science guy. And here's Ken Ham explaining to you why the earth is 6,000 years old. I'm about to lose my evangelical viewership base, if you existed. Sorry, guys. Listen, I went to Catholic school growing up, and I'm Jewish. I've had my share of religions. It's nonsense. The earth is not 6,000 years old. It's not. I don't care. And so they go on, and he explains, well, the earth is 6,000 years old because, look, Adam lived to be 800 years old, and then he had Seth, and then he had Enosh, and based upon all that, we can predict that calculate the earth is that old. And Bill Nye goes, no, what you talking about? And then Ken Ham goes, it's in the Bible, there's the proof. Can you take a centrist position on that? Can you say, well, Bill Nye makes some good points, but Ken Ham is also making good points. I think it's silly to be in either camp. No. There's nothing wrong with being in the science camp and saying, I believe the science. And if you're religious, you go, well, I'm in the religion camp because I'm religion. I believe the Bible is true, word for word. That's fine. Take a position. DG. People are wondering, and I'm flip-flopping. Sometimes I like starcitizen. Sometimes I like what the other guy's saying. Take a position, man. There's no centrist position here. And you're afraid to take the position of backing Star Citizen because of the framing from the refunders that if you back Star Citizen, you must think it is a gift from God and everything is perfect. Nonsense. That doesn't exist. Nobody said that. The Refundians said that because they are projecting what they felt in the beginning. No sane, normal person I've spoken to in all the years and the thousands of members I've spoken to have ever said that they believe Christ Roberts is the Holy One and this is perfect. No one said that. So don't be afraid. If I give advice to DG and everyone else, this is a framing trick. Don't fall for it. Not going to happen. Nobody says that. Star Citizen has its faults. We all know that. You can agree that Star Citizen has faults and still be a backer of it. Nothing wrong with that. I think this is a great topic for further debate, guys. Post your comments below. If you like this content, thumbs up, yada, yada, yada. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.